Hello, fellow humans from the future. This is us all the way back in January.
Yes.
January 27th?
27th. Yes.
Yeah. And we're not allowed to release this video until literally 1 month from today, February 27th.
Yep. But
So-
we learned from our mistakes in the past because we got a screener like months before we were allowed to talk about
Yep.
it, and we did not review it right after we
Nope.
watched it,
And we
we're
forgot
kicking
a
ourselves
lot.
for it.
Yeah.
So
So
we're doing this.
this is fresh
day
in our
of.
mind.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is Children of the Corn again. I have done the other 10 Children of the Corn films on the channel. And so I was looking forward to, completing it because any Children of the Corn film I have to talk about on this channel. If I'm in enough on this, okay? That's it. I'm doing it. No matter if they release 50 more, I got to do it now.
Yeah. You're
So
just.
hopefully it doesn't become the Amityville series where it's like Amityville Karen and Amityville in space and Amityville toilet and Amityville
Toilet.
fucking carpet. I don't know. I'm telling you, it's happening. So Children of the Corn. Okay. This movie was made a while ago. And supposedly, the rumor is that it's so bad it was pulled years ago and is just now finally being dropped. Okay. I do want to start this off with a kind of caveat of sorts. I have seen all of the Children of the Corns, and this franchise is all over the place in terms of quality. I like the first two fine. I think 3 and 4 are actually really good films that I think are vastly underappreciated. And then I think the rest of the franchise from there on is terrible. So they kind of go a little bit over in this and that. So this franchise has a lot of entries that are beyond subpar. So my take on this is going to be a little skewed because of that. That being said, this is not a good movie, but as a Children of the Corn film, I would say it probably falls somewhere in the middle. I'd say it's probably like, 3 and 4, then 1 and 2, and then like this. And then like it's on the same level of like Fields of Terror, the one with Eva Mendes, part 5, or something like that, where it's like it's got some things about it that are okay, that are like, oh, that's all right, right? And as far as the like what this is about, it's children in the corn who are killing adults, right? Like we're not trying anything all that new. It's basically a remake ish, but it doesn't deal with that couple coming to town and finding the town taken over. It's kind of like the origins, the prequel, so to speak. And we get an actress in this who's way too good to be in this movie. In my personal opinion, she was Minnow in a series I watched called Sacred Lies, which is on Facebook actually, Facebook Watch. It's a good show. She's the first season. She's also in Jupiter's Legacy, and she's been in a few things. She's a good actress. She's like 23 years old in this, and she's playing like a 17-year-old. And then Callan Mulvey, who's a really like cool actor that's been in a ton of shit, from Batman vs Superman to Captain America: Winter Soldier, and he's even in Avengers Endgame. And I think he's a great actor. So both of them, there's actually a scene with them where they're acting against one another at a dinner table, and this feels like a completely different scene, like from the rest of the film, because they're like both good actors and there's like good drama and they're bouncing off of each other well. But then it's like then followed by maybe the worst scene in the film, which is the town hall scene.
No, that was before.
That was before?
That was before. Yeah.
So it's like, oh my God.
The town hall scene.
This town hall scene is
man.
so laughably awful. There's like people that are like pointing and laughing at kids and stuff, and it's ridiculous. Dumb.
It is. It's really dumb. Yeah, like this movie. So I mean, I don't think it's a great film at all. But it's weird because there was one kill that I thought was really cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ending has a shot that I also
I really like
really
the last
like.
like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it has that going for it. But overall, you know, I've only seen the first Children of the Corn. I haven't seen any of the other 9 films, so I don't really have the gauge that you do. But I was disappointed with the children. I feel like I wanted them to be more intimidating and creepy and scary, like really off-putting, and I don't feel like we got that at all.
Not in the slightest.
And that sucks because I kind of think that that's like anytime you're having like, you know, the movie that we just watched recently that involved creepy kids.
Oh, there's something wrong with the kids?
Something wrong with the kids. Like, I feel like they did a better job at portraying like an unsettling, because I feel like it was too on the nose with their behavior, and it was so unbelievable that the adults would let them act that way and not fight back and
100,000%.
like be able to overpower them and all of that. Like, I know that they had weapons, and I know that they were like caught off guard and all this stuff, and like I get it, but I also don't get it because like the oldest kids there are like maybe 13 or so that are actually like cooperating with what's her name, the main girl that's like Isaac or whatever.
Yeah, she's
like
she's supposed to be Isaac.
Yeah, anyway, so that it was just a bummer. And then also I did not like the way that He Who Walks looked.
You mean Treebeard?
Yeah, he was Treebeard.
Treebeard makes an appearance?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds like orc mischief to me. Yeah. Okay, so that is probably my biggest negative of the film. And I have quite a few. I get where the guy is going, because the guy who wrote and directed this movie wrote and directed Equilibrium. That just blows my mind, because that movie rules. If you haven't seen Equilibrium, it's like it's always kind of coined the Matrix ripoff, which it isn't, but it's kind of like almost an Orwellian type of story where people have been robbed of their emotions, and that there's these like guys that go out. Christian Bale is the star of the movie, and there are these like guys who go out and they uphold the law, and then like Christian Bale's like, you know, the most badass of them, and he of course like he doesn't take his dose that represses his emotions, and so he starts to feel, and so he takes on the, you know, the powers that be that are suppressing everyone's emotions, because they find out that human emotion is the cause of all problems, so they get rid of them, which makes them all robots and whatever. It's a fantastic film. And it's crazy to me to think that the guy who wrote and directed that also wrote and directed this, because this is such a major step down. And supposedly this had a $10 million budget on IMDb. I cannot see how that's possible. But with some of the CGI work on Treebeard, or Cornbeard.
It's corn.
Yeah. I don't know. But, and the guy also has some really other good titles to his writing credits as well. So look at those titles, you'll be surprised, like Thomas Crown Affair and stuff, where you're like, huh, you went to Children of the Corn from all of this, huh? How weird. But regardless, the biggest issue of the film for me by far and away, and this is almost reminiscent of Speak No Evil, is just that people are spineless. Yeah. Like the adults, especially like Callan Mulvey, right? Who's like the, you know, he's the dad of the main girl, and I think he's like mayor or something.
I don't know. He goes up there like the town leader. Yeah, he's in a leadership role for sure, and they just don't fight back at all. And there's moments when they could 1,000%.
Because when Kayleigh says that they have weapons, I don't want you to think that these dudes are, you know, the Wolverines from fucking Red Dawn. Okay, they don't have like fully automatic rifles and shit. Like, no. These kids have like pitchforks, right? One kid has a bow and arrow. Like, and there's like 20 adult males in a freaking holding cell, and they open up the door and none of them like rush it and just trample the kids like they would. It's outrageous. And then there's like this kind of is spoiler territory, but then there's another scenario, we'll just say that other adults are in, and this scenario is insanely simplistic to get out of. And they're just like, oh no. And then they sit there and just take it. It's very Speak No Evil, where you're like, they're kids, dude. If you haven't seen it, please, if you have not seen the movie, Don't Be a Menace to South Central or Drinking Your Juice in the Hood, please go watch that film. And if you don't feel like watching, a Wayne's Brothers comedy, scary movie type thing, fine. That's fine. But go to YouTube at least and search for the scene where I think this is it's not Marlon. The other brother. Can't remember his name right now. Anyways, it's the scene where the dude comes back and he's crying and he's just slugging children and they're fucking flying. This is how this shit should have played out in the film. Like, if you hit a child at full force as a human, especially Callan Mulvey, who's huge. He's freaking my size or bigger, right?
Sure, yeah.
If he was to rush one of those kids with the pitchfork, you joking? There's nothing that kid could do. He'd uppercut right to the freaking right here, and that kid would be dead.
Two of the kids, to be fair, they do have chainsaws. I will say that.
Give a shit. Give my kids chainsaws and I'll whoop their ass.
I do find it, so the physicality is unbelievable. And what I was saying earlier, I wanted the kids, if they were more manipulative or, tricking parents or whatever into doing things, that would have been a lot easier to believe versus kind of what we get, which is just that they overpowered them.
So the kids in past Children of the Corn movies, they use either A, surprise, B, some kind of gas or whatever, which they kind of use in this, but not really. They do, but they don't. They do. Sorry.
They do.
But that's not all what they use on those exact same people. So anyways, that's all being said. Or they use supernatural power. Right? Which they have access to in this, but they don't utilize. So in order for children to work in a menacing way, you either have to have them supernatural, you have to have them take you off guard, stab you in your sleep, or they have to be given guns and know how to use them.
Yeah.
Right? Those are the only three options you have with children. If you gave a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old a pitchfork and told him to guard me, I would be out of that room in 5 seconds flat. He's not getting that pitchfork into me. Okay? He's a child.
Yeah.
Right? And as soon as he lost the element of surprise, it's the only advantage a child has over a grown adult.
Pretty much.
Period.
Yeah.
So the movie does a horrible job making me believe that someone like Callan Mulvey, a dude who fought freaking Batman and made it look like he's one of the dudes in 300 Rise of the Empire. He's one of the main soldiers. This dude is being held hostage by a 10-year-old with a pitchfork.
Right.
Come on. So that is just asinine. Then there's tons of dialogue that's horrendous. Honestly, the little kid who's playing the Isaac wannabe, she's totally fine. I don't think her acting is bad. I just think that the way that it's shot and the way that her dialogue is given and all of that, and the folly of how this all ends, and it's you didn't see that coming? Are you fucking serious?
I mean, the ending is a little why wouldn't she? But she's a kid or whatever, even though she's supposed to be the smarter leader one that is controlling all the others. I actually thought her acting was fine, and there's some lines that it's just the way that it's I think edited, because she kind of has these moments sometimes where she'll be really serious and then she's let's just do that. She just kind of totally changes tone.
She has a kid.
Yeah, and I actually liked that, but I feel like the way it was edited was weird sometimes. It didn't quite fit with the scene, or I don't know how to explain that better, but yeah, I thought she was fine, and really it was just kind of the townspeople that didn't have really great acting, because I think most of the other kids are like pretty much completely silent for like the whole movie, unless they're chanting or whatever. But I don't think there's really many of them or any that I can remember that have any lines. So.
Well, the main girl also is in a movie that I really want to watch.
Wife-like?
Wife-like.
Yeah.
Where she plays like this robot wife. And I think Jonathan Rhys Meyers is the husband in that. And it is available now, so I do want to watch that soon and talk about it. But,
yeah, her acting
although,
is
by this time, I'll have already seen it and reviewed it. Jesus, I
That's
forgot.
true.
We're talking to you from a month from now.
Yeah, from the past.
We'll only have like one episode of The Last of Us left by this point.
Oh, no.
And The Mandalorian will be starting in 2 days.
That's
So you guys are
exciting.
lucky because you're going to have The Mandalorian in 2 days. And The Last of Us should have like 1 or 2 episodes left. Because I think The Last of Us ends on March 3rd? Or March 10th?
I
Something
think it's
like
March
that?
10th.
Okay. So, yeah. Oh, man. And anyways. Children of the Corn. Boo. Last of
Yeah.
Us.
Yay!
And we'll still be doing that. We'll
Yes.
still be doing that.
100,000%.
Hopefully. I couldn't imagine 5 weeks from now, 4 weeks
we're
from
doing
now,
it.
we're going to be like, boo.
No way. It's
No,
not gonna
there's
happen.
no way. So anyways, yeah, I mean, if you think this is going to revitalize the Children of the Corn franchise or bring it back, 3 and 4 I do think are really good films, but they're not classics. They're not anything. The first one is considered a classic. I think it's fine. I think it's good.
I mean,
But
I've told you this before.
I don't love it.
Like, The Children of the Corn is like the first horror movie that I remember watching with my mom.
Right.
So I do, like, and I haven't seen it since I was, like, young, so
Yeah.
I would love to rewatch it. But I remember being, like, pretty freaked out by the kids, and, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really want to watch any of the other ones except for 3 and 4, I guess. And
Yeah.
maybe 1 through 4 we could watch at some point.
They sell a trilogy box set on Blu-ray, or even I think 4K now, that I would love to pick up if it had 4. It pisses me off that 4 is not included. But this franchise, it has like, Naomi Watts and Eva Mendes,
pretty
and like
crazy, yeah.
But every horror franchise has that, right? Texas Chainsaw Massacre
That's
has
true.
Dennis Hopper
Matthew
and like
McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey,
Yeah.
and Renee Zellweger, and like
Yeah.
there's all these like random
Like
faces.
stars,
Yeah.
that are just like, I'm in this franchise
Yeah.
now.
Paul Rudd and Halloween,
Oh, yeah.
and stuff like
I love
that.
the Paul Rudd's in Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, we can go on for that
Yeah.
forever. But yeah, so, no.
No.
Yeah, no.
But, like, you could fast forward to there's one kill and then to the end.
Yeah, really.
Those are the kill, like, if there had been more kills like that, like the kids being totally brutal,
yeah.
that would have excited me. But
I-
there's not.
I have a feeling that tonight's gonna be... no. I have a feeling that this director had his project taken from him. This has Alan Smithy written all over it to me, because Equilibrium is too good. Equilibrium is too good for this person to have made this film. I have a feeling they started making this movie and a lot of the film was tampered with. That's what this feels like to me.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. Until the 12th Children of the Corn film.
See you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Enjoy February.